Hi Pisces, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading. I hope you're doing really well. I do want to take a second just to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every single Pisces. So guys, just take what resonates for you. Leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies may reverse. So if it's resonating, Pisces, get in where you fit in, but don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Pisces? Pisces. All right. Pisces, you are starting out with the King of Cups in the reverse. You have the Wise Old Man in the reverse. Now, in this deck, that's the Emperor. And then you have the Prince of Cups. All right, so what I'm seeing in your energy is that there's a very emotional issue that's taking place. You have a lot of feelings towards somebody. However, you're holding those feelings back. And why? Well, because you don't feel that it's really your responsibility to take charge of the situation. See, something here got out of hand, and that's what caused you to pull back. But at the same time, you're like, yeah, it got out of hand, but it didn't get out of hand because of my actions. And so therefore, I'm not going to take charge of it. I'm not going to be the one to handle this. You may feel that you are owed an apology from somebody. Not necessarily, but for some of you, this is a new person that has come into your energy. And you may be thinking that, you don't know about this person. You don't know if they are really, everything they're cracked up to be. There's almost this energy of feeling like you have had to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince. And you're not sure if this is going to be another frog. So you're kind of reserved with this new person if there is somebody new in your energy. For others of you, there's an apology that you're hoping for or waiting for. So let me see who is in Pisces energy. All right, so the person in your energy has the Two of Swords. We have the Fairy Godmother in the reverse. Now that's very interesting because that's the Empress, and it's coming out directly across from the Emperor. But they're both in the reverse, which makes me wonder if there's either there's a gap between the two of you, like there's a non-communication or maybe even just an emotional gap, or you could be dealing with a karmic, particularly a karmic twin flame, but not necessary. I can definitely see, though, that this is a spiritual connection of some sort. Now, this person in your energy, Pisces, does have a decision that they need to make. And the thing is that they're kind of running hot and cold. They go back and forth in their mind. So I do feel like this person, isn't currently nurturing this situation. Something may have occurred during the fall time frame that may be affecting this connection. And with the Lovers, this is somebody who definitely feels that you are a soulmate of theirs. As I feel like you do as well. However, there's some decision, and it's a huge decision. It may be between two people, or it's just a very large decision, and it's this person who needs to make that decision. So let me see the energy between Pisces and this person. All right, so we have the Nine of Cups coming out with the Nine of Wands. So you're definitely close to the end of a cycle. It's just not quite over yet. So I feel like a lot has taken place between the two of you. There's been a lot of back and forth with this person. There's been a lot that's gone on. Now they're showing up as wanting to move forward, wanting to learn the lessons that has happened. There's a lot of stress, there's a lot of pressure, there's been a lot of problems, but they want to learn from those problems and move forward. I feel like you do as well. You do see this person as being your wish fulfillment. So I'm not sure why you're holding back so much. Let me see. They're having a difficult time making this decision. Eight of Cups, that's why. So what's affecting the connection is somebody walked away from this connection at some point. So You might not even be in communication with this person currently, depending upon your situation. Or if you are, you're at odds with them. Yeah, there's a sense that that something here spun out of control. You pulled back, they pulled back, one or both of you walked away from the connection. So let me see the outcome. Seven of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, you're both wanting to choose each other. It's almost like this connection has felt like it has been out of reach for a little while. And that is beginning to resolve at this point. There's clarity that's coming in. Prior to that, there was definitely a feeling of confusion. And that is related to this disagreement, I don't know why I'm hearing chasm, but that's not the correct word that I'm trying to use. There's like a space between the two of you, either physically or emotionally. There's a gap between the two of you. And it came about because of this person going back and forth with decisions, as well as just, you know, there's been a lot of water under this bridge. A lot has happened. So, but the clarity is coming in, which is very positive. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Wands in the reverse. That's underlying energy, and it does indicate an ending. So you could be dealing with a Gemini. I also see Libra, Taurus energy is here. But let's clarify your reading, Pisces. Show me the King of Cups in the reverse for Pisces. It's interesting that I'm not seeing a lot of cards regarding conflict. I just see both of you pulling away and this big divide between the two of you. All right, so there's that Two of Swords again, and there's the confusion, the Seven of Cups. So you pulled back because there was confusion about what this person really wanted. You know that you see them as wish fulfillment. They have the Two of Swords. And so there's some sort of option here. And it doesn't have to necessarily be another person. But this person has to make a decision. And there is a lot of confusion in your energy as to what decision this person is making. They haven't been clear. They were not clear with you. Let me see why the Emperor is in reverse. All right, so we have the Two of Pentacles reversed. We have the Knight of Wands. You might be questioning if this person is a player for some of you, because there could be some juggling that's taken place. But for others of you, this has been on and off. It's a very passionate but on and off situation, which is currently in the off position. I do feel like you find it very unbalancing. There was something that was said that just created an incredible amount of imbalance for you, and there was chaos surrounding it. And I do feel that this is when you pulled back. So I feel like this person has a decision to make here, and they're not, because they're running hot and cold, it's making you very uneasy. Let me see the Prince of Cups. Show me the Prince of Cups for the person, or for Pisces. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups. And we have the Three of Swords in the reverse. So if this person came to you and apologized, you would like to reunite with them. You would heal this connection. But only if they come to you with having made a firm decision, whatever that decision is, and also provided the clarity with regard to it. Then you would work on healing this. But you do feel that they owe you an apology. And I will say that some of you have also met somebody new. You may have been out with friends or family, some sort of social event, you could have even started dating, but some of you have met somebody new, and it's because you feel that this person is not taking charge of the situation. They're in and out of your life, and you're tired of the confusion. But this does look to be the person from the past. So let me see their energy. Why is the Two of Swords here? Why is the Two of Swords here? For the person in Pisces energy. Yeah, there's definitely some stuck energy regarding this situation because it didn't want to come out in yours when I was pulling for your energy, and it's very resistant in theirs as well. Yeah, you've known this person for a while. Six of Cups. And then we have the Four of Coins in the reverse. Yeah, their decision here is about whether or not to bring this together. They do feel you're a soulmate. I'm getting several soulmate cards. So they strongly feel that you're a soulmate. And they are trying to decide if they should bring this together or if they should release the connection, it looks like. I do feel that this person is going to approach you, though, at some point. They are very fond of you. They're definitely very fond of you, but a lot has happened. There's been a lot of problems, and they're trying to release that energy, let that energy go so that the two of you can move forward together. But then they back up and they're like, well, I don't know if that's the right thing to do. So I can see definitely where that energy is back and forth, back and forth. It's like this person has one foot in and one foot out. Let me see the Empress in reverse. They could have also been hit recently with some sort of unexpected expense. And that could be very problematic for them. All right, so we have the Nine of Pentacles or in the upright, I'm sorry. And we have the Sun in reverse. All right, so yeah, they're not currently nurturing this situation between the two of you. They are unhappy. And it does look like they are showing up here as single. So I'm not seeing that they are, you know, like married or involved with someone else. They're showing up as being single. They walked away from this connection to become single. You walked away from it because you thought that they were, you know, playing you, that they had one foot in, one foot out. And so I do feel like they're unhappy being single. They are wondering if the situation can come together. They don't know. They just don't know. So this is another reason that they're going back and forth, back and forth. If they did have an unexpected financial issue, they're going to recover that money fairly quickly, but they may not realize that. So let me look at this bottom energy. You could be dealing with a Leo. Show me the bottom energy for the person in Pisces energy. Ten of Pentacles, Judgment. Yeah, this is good. Seven of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. So they're not very good about planning things, I can tell you that. But this person is looking at you as somebody that they would like to have a family with. They're thinking about things from a long-term perspective. There's a sense here so I can see that the two of you, there is some division here because this person wants to bring this back together and reunite. You want to bring it back together and reunite. I do feel this has been very painful for you and you've had to do a lot of healing though, but they're wanting to invest in this situation. And see, they don't feel like there's been a difficult issue with them making a decision. They feel like they had to be very patient about making the decision. So I can see you see that a little bit differently. I do feel like they do want to reunite. They've already made that decision, it looks like. And it's a big decision here. This is not like, for this person, this is a huge thing. Yeah, because it's going to affect, it could also be affecting their family or close friends. Some sort of an established community that's here is going to be affected by this, and they don't know how that community is going to be affected. So, but they do. They've already made the decision that they want to invest, and I'm not seeing anything that is nefarious in their energy. So let me see the energy between Pisces and this person. Yeah, they actually feel like if they, you know, put their guard down and let go of the past, you know, issues that occurred, the problems, that the two of you could move this to a better place. And having learned from the experiences. All right, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Page of Cups in the reverse. Now, you have the Page of Cups in the upright. So, yeah, there's a big discussion that has either already happened or is imminent. It's the discussion that's bringing about the clarity that you were looking for. You know, because there was all this confusion, and we see that at the end of the week, that confusion is cleared up. Well, it's because of this Ace of Swords. It's because there is a like truthful communication that's happening. You may be the one initiating that, because it looks like you're just fed up with this person going back and forth. You know, you've decided that this is the person that you want. You're speaking to them very honestly, very truthfully. And I do feel like this person, if there was somebody new in your energy, this person is basically saying, yeah, but you've got to let that person go. You've got to release that person in order for us to bring this together, in order for me to make this decision. Yeah, they don't like that there's somebody new in your energy, if that's the case. Now, the other thing is that this person is still holding their emotions, their feelings back as well. You both are. In fact, you are more so than they are. They, for them, they're more like, okay, well, there's still a lot of problems here, and we can learn from this. We can move past this. And you're like, yes, I think that's possible. You're both in, you know, choosing head over heart. You're holding back even more than they are, but there's definitely truth that's being spoken. You may not like some of the things that you're hearing as well. I do see that there's an energy here of you feeling that this person is being a little bit cutting with their words, or perhaps they think that of you. But nevertheless, it's a very truthful and honest communication that's happening. Let me see what's affecting this connection. King of Wands and the Chariot. All right, so what's affecting the connection is that one or both of you walked away from this connection. I can tell you for sure that the person in your energy did, but I think you also did, but for different reasons. You, because you felt that there was such an imbalance in the connection, that you were the one giving, they were the one taking. You may have felt that they were, that they needed to level up in some manner, particularly with regard to action or, you know, discussions. And I do feel that you took the initiative to walk away because you could not handle this imbalance, this 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of energy. And you expected them to take charge of things, and I feel like they were not. So in their energy, that's exactly what they're doing, because the Emperor is the one who drives the Chariot. All right, so they are doing exactly what you were expecting them to do. They didn't know how it was going to, or they don't know how it's going to turn out. They're afraid that, you know, they're going to get the cold shoulder here, but they're definitely coming towards you to take control of the situation. Yeah, this is somebody that you had a passionate connection with, and you still have that passion. So, but you're afraid that they may be sharing passion elsewhere as well. And that was a part of the reason why you felt you had to walk away. So you wanting them to take control of the situation is happening. And they are coming towards you single. I don't see them with anybody else. They're not happy about the way things are going between the two of you, and neither are you. So you could be dealing with a Cancer sign. I'm also seeing Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's look at your outcome. Show me the outcome for Pisces. Show me the outcome for Pisces. Them taking action and taking control of the situation is really going to make a huge difference in this connection. Okay, so we have the World in reverse. We have the King of Pentacles. That's commitment. And hold on. Then we have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. So in the outcome, not only is this person taking the initiative and taking charge of the situation, coming towards you, but they're coming towards you with an offer of commitment. So that's good. This person wants stability in this connection. I feel like during the time apart, the two of you got very clear about what it was that you wanted. You did not feel like things were over between you and this person, and you do want this reconciliation. I see you starting to open up a little bit when this person makes this offer as well. And I think that you're very pleased that they're taking control of the situation. I do feel that like you feel that there's unfinished business between the two of you. You're very clear on the fact that you want to be in a commitment with this person, but only if it's something that is stable. And in their energy, that's exactly what they're offering. They're offering investment. They're offering commitment here. They want to bring this back together. It took them a while to make this decision, but when they made the decision, that's when they got in that chariot and came towards you. So I feel like this is actually, if you're wanting to reconcile with this person, I feel like you're going to get exactly what it is that you want here. There is a cycle that is almost at the end. It hasn't quite closed out, but it is closing out. So I do feel that, you know, there's definitely some good energy here. Now, bottom of the deck is the Seven of Swords. So that's a little bit of a red flag, but it could be associated with this ending because it's clarifying the Ace of Wands reversed. And it tells me that this connection ended because of some kind of lying, cheating, or stealing. Highly likely that it ended because of some sort of sexual inappropriateness. So, but that doesn't mean that that's happening now, because I see the commitment coming in. I see the offer coming in, but it still will need to be dealt with. All right, so let me pull an oracle card for you, Pisces, and see if there's advice here. Pulling for Pisces. All right, so you have number 32, and it's called Phoenix Rising. 32 condenses into a 5, so there's definitely changes happening. We can see that in both of your energy, but it's just further confirmation that there's definitely some changes happening here. All right, it says, everything in your life is falling apart in order for you to rise from the ashes with renewed strength. This is not a time to create, but a time to sweep away everything that has not worked in your life. The reason so many things are breaking down and not going your way is because the old cycle of your life is completing. You may feel that you're walking through the fires of life right now in order to be cleansed and purified for your rebirth. Soon, you will not recognize yourself. You are reclaiming your spirit. If possible, try to isolate yourself from the chaos surrounding you. Now is the time for you to feel any pain that you have previously suppressed so that you can heal. The universe has plans and opportunities that are better than you can imagine. So let go and trust and anticipate what is coming. All right. So yeah, that's it. It looks like that is what the two of you are doing together. You're sweeping away whatever has occurred here. There was obviously some kind of deception involved. It's being, addressed. It's being swept away so that this can come back together into something that is beautiful. So I hope that this has been helpful, Pisces. If you've resonated with this, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hype the video if you get the opportunity. Until I see you in your next reading, Pisces, know that you are loved, and namaste.